am going to talk about the things that I do not spend on anymore. I wasn't working for about a year. Been working now for a year, but a lot of those changes that I made when I wasn't working, I am still applying them to this day, and I feel like it has helped me be able to save and invest. And so I just want to talk a little bit about the things that I do not buy anymore. Everyone has different lifestyles, and there are certain things you can cut off. Some people really are living at their means, but there are certain things that you can cut off if you do feel like you spend. Maybe this will give you a bit of ideas of what you can cut down. Number one, skincare. If I already have a certain type of skincare that I use, I do not buy another one. I wait until that one is completely finished, and then I go and look for the next thing. So that ensures that there's never anything expired. Unless it's giving me really bad reaction, then I'll stop it and buy something else. But if it's good enough, it's fine. It just needs to keep my face hydrated because I do have a drier skin. Number two is trendy items. If there's something trendy that I really want, I wait until a month. I'll keep it in my cart, and then if by a month I still want it, then I'll go and purchase it at that point. If it's something that I actually want, then it can wait for that 1 month mark, and then I'll get it at that point. If not, then you end up with a bunch of things that you don't even need. And we are kind of minimalist in our house. You can kind of tell a little bit by the furniture. We've been here, I think, like two years now at least. And we don't really have much on the walls, not really anything on the tables. This plant I got, it was on a whim, but I really had been wanting a little bit of greenery in the apartment. So I got this one really cheap at the grocery store. I think it was like $8. There's not much decor. We recently got a lamp, so it's just one lamp and everything else is just ceiling lights. I'm going off on a tangent. The next one is expensive brands. So I have never really gravitated towards expensive brands, so that one's been easy for me. I can't really justify the price increase just to have a brand on it, but I do try to look for clothes that I see is going to last. Usually, like for clothes, sometimes you can see in the material that once you wash it once, it's going to be all lumpy. And so I look for that. I look for it not to be too sheer and still be cheap, but not cheap material. So if you really look, you can find these deals, but you have to be aware of it and conscious of it. And it's almost like a game. So if you're looking for some sort of deal and then you find it, it feels really good. So it's almost like if you could switch that perspective about, you get something that you really like, that's a brand, but you can find something that's really good quality for cheap. I usually like going to Ross, TJ Maxx. Marshall's is a little bit cheaper than those two, but you can also find good stuff there. It just has to be functional and good quality. That's what you should look for if you're wanting to save on this area. Now for apartment decor, which I touched on a little bit earlier, but basically apartment decor, I don't spend on it because I feel like it's money that you're spending on something that's not gonna be that useful to you. It's just something that looks nice. For the most part, like I said, we don't have much decor. We don't have really anything on the walls except for these frames, which is art that has like sentimental value. But other than that, there isn't really any decor. Sometimes in the season, I do have some decor that I just reuse, and it's not much either. I'm never going and looking for something that is gonna be decor unless I see something that really blows me away. The other thing is, if I really like something, I run it past my fiance who lives with me, and then usually if he doesn't feel like it's a good fit for the apartment, then that helps me also not spend. But it is a conversation because we're both going to be living here, so we both want to have that agreement of what we're buying for the apartment. Other than that, there's not really much else to say about decor. We don't really have much decor. I would like to have more frames, maybe some frames behind the bed because we don't have a bed frame. It's also pretty minimalist. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how bare our apartment is because it also makes it easier to clean. So that's a really great benefit, and maybe that's something that can help when you're trying to purchase more decor. It's more cleaning. Usually just the surfaces, like if you see that's empty surfaces, just wipe it down. Kitchen, just wipe it down. The restroom, I don't have any decor on the surfaces there either. I just have 2 bunnies. I love bunnies, and I've had that for a while now, ever since we moved in together, which has been probably more than 5 years now. And yeah, it's just a little decor, that's it. So for beauty services, I do not go to the nail salon or go to the hair salon or do my eyebrows at a salon. I do everything at home. For me, I like the craftiness of doing things myself and learning. I enjoy that, so that's beneficial to me. I have a gel kit. I have stuff to do acrylic nails. I have also bought press-on nails, which end up being cheaper. So I've done that. I usually get the nails that are in clearance. If I like something, then I'll get it. If they're ugly and they're cheap, I'm not gonna get it. You just have to sometimes look for the bargains. That's worked for me. I cannot justify going to a nail salon and paying $100 plus. So I feel like that's one of the things that really does add up for people that do that. If you prefer doing that, then maybe it's something that you want to splurge on for your month. But for me, I feel like it really does lower my expenses since I don't do that monthly. My eyebrows, I just shape them on my own. They're not the most trendiest, but I shape them, I pluck them, and that's it. From there, it's minimal makeup purchases. I do not buy makeup. I do have fairly clear skin most of the time, so I don't really buy any sort of foundation. I mainly just do my eyebrows and curl my eyelashes and put mascara. Now my mascara, I've had it for years, which is probably horrible, but it still works. It still shows up, and sometimes at the end of the day, if I maybe touched my eyes a little bit too long, the mascara does kind of have little crumbs. That's rare, but it is because it's old. And I have been telling myself that I need to get a new mascara. But other than that, the only 2 things that I use, and I recently bought 2 different things for my eyebrows, which were really cheap. And then, like I said, I'm not gonna buy a lot of different mascaras. I have one that I've been using and it's been working, and that's why I haven't gotten another one, but I am coming up on it. I do need another one. Number 7, I don't use liquid shampoo. I had the experience where liquid shampoo, I feel, was making my hair fall out a lot more. And then I was looking into what shampoos were natural. I ended up coming across bar shampoo. That's what I use now. There's a specific brand that I buy off of Amazon, and I really loved it. Sometimes it can be a little bit more time consuming than just liquid. You just pour the liquid, quickly it suds, but for the bar soap, you do kind of have to rub it a couple times until it gets sudsy, then you put it on your hair. But other than that, it's really good. I feel like my hair doesn't fall as much anymore, and it's very, very cheap compared to the bottled shampoo. It usually comes with, I think, 4 or 5 bars of soap, and this 1 bar of soap has probably lasted me for 3 months. I don't wash my hair every day, so maybe like every other day. It's really good, and it is really cheap. So if you are having that issue, I would suggest you look into that. Maybe that's a good option for you as well. And with the liquid shampoo, my other thing is number 8, liquid soap. So the body wash, I feel like I didn't ever grow up with liquid body wash, but that does go through really quickly. If you do bar soap, like for me and my family, we grew up with Dove bar soap, and I love it. I have not switched out of bar soap. I do have other soaps that I've tried. They don't feel as good as Dove soap, because Dove soap, for me, it feels like it leaves me soft. Usually the other bar soaps, they feel almost like they're leaving a layer of something on you. But I did get a little bit obsessed with those, and whenever I would find some cheap ones, I would buy those because they usually smell really good. That's besides the point. They're cheaper, they last longer than liquid body wash. Number 9 is the latest phone. I don't usually gravitate towards getting the newest thing that comes out. If my phone is working and everything is good on it, I will not get an upgrade. This last iPhone 17, I was in the beginning kind of thinking about getting it. My phone is an iPhone 14. The 17, I was seeing the videos of how good the camera was and I was tempted to get it. Once I started hearing about the scratching, I was like, okay, we'll hold off again. My phone is still working. I have my camera to record. I'll be fine. It takes like a little thing for me to then say, okay, yeah, never mind, we shouldn't buy it. Everything, the stars have to align and everything for me to say, okay, yes, let's get it, because it's a big purchase. And if it's gonna have a better feature maybe in the future for next year, then I would rather hold off and do that, because I know that I'm not going to be updating it every single year. So it's worth it to wait a little bit more, and maybe the next time around they fix all the issues that they had on this past one. I am fairly new to number 10, which is drinking coffee out. I recently got an espresso machine and I have been doing my drink here. Now, whenever we do go to Orange County to visit our family, I don't have my espresso machine nearby. I do end up buying a coffee out, but I do try to have my coffee at home. I live in San Diego, we'll go to Orange County, but I'll make my coffee here in the morning and then we'll drive over, and then I won't need to have another coffee. But that is also a fairly new thing. The coffee drinks do add up. And for me, I normally like getting my mom or my mother-in-law a drink when I go. And so then that's like $12 at minimum that I'm spending for the day, when I could just actually buy a full meal out, and it just doesn't make logical sense for me. After that time that I had off, I did pick up a lot of these habits, and it has helped me be able to save. Now that I am working, it's an extra boost because I'm not spending as much. I've never really been a big spender, but it has shifted my perspective to maybe spend more on quality things. Also, a lot of the things that we want, sometimes they're just trendy, and if we give it a little bit more time, we realize that we actually didn't really need it, and it's not worth that money spent that you're never gonna get back. So if you've gone through a season in your life where you've changed how you spend or how you live, please drop it down in the comments. And if there's anything that you don't spend on that helps you save money, let me know as well. If you like this video, subscribe. I usually do vlogs about my day and how I'm trying to stick to certain habits. I've been making healthier choices, and I've been recording that and sharing that with you guys. If you have any other video suggestions, just let me know. Thank you for watching.